This is a protein Pop-Tart.
It's not no way. Mm.
It's a Quest Pop-Tart.
You're
Shout out to my Quest lovers.
I'm more of a red meat kind of guy. Perhaps eggs.
Instagram, I don't know if Instagram's working. It does say it is. I think it's just taking a while. There we go. Delicioso.
When she asks me what we are, so I say, we are.
No. Oh my god, I just opened Rumble and that was the Okay, send that in the chat. I think we're live on Instagram. I have to charge my phone. Don't know how I'm gonna do that.
Sending in Insta or Rumble in Telegram.
Okay. Welcome in, everybody. Sorry we got started late, too, by the way. It was all Anthony's fault.
Per usual.
He doesn't know how to be on time, messing things up.
That used to be our problem. Now it's just one of our cameras doesn't work every single time.
Hey, that's the trick, though. Just restart your computer. And as you guys know, I'm in a different setup. My camera battery's dead, and I let it die, so that's my fault. And then the backup battery was also dead. So kind of like this setup better. I'm just on my webcam here, but I can also see and share everything a lot easier on my computer. So this might be a move in the future. I might change it up a little bit more. But
I like the look.
Just giving everybody a little bit of a second to get in here, and then we're gonna launch. Yeah, I like these episodes. I honestly I just got a workout in before this, and I'm back to the rhythm. I kind of don't like traveling for me, just because although it's nice to see people, it changes up my rhythm, and I'm very like systemic. I like having the same routine every single day. I'm boring like that, but to me, that's like I feel at peace doing that. I don't know about you, but
yeah, I prefer a schedule for sure. I don't know, things just I think we're humans in general are like really systematic creatures. We find patterns in everything, so I think we do better when it's predictable, I guess.
yeah.
Just like in really every instance. For me, like I just feel so tired when I'm traveling. I don't know about you.
Yeah, it's just your circadian rhythm. I mean, humans weren't supposed to get on a plane and then it'd be a different time of day. So like this is obviously gonna throw things off. But I actually do like the fact that it's winter, although I'm not a fan of daylight savings. I like the fact that I can work on my computer and I don't feel like there's FOMO or there's social pressure because everyone's just inside working. It gets dark early and you everyone's in that arc, that grind mode in the cold season. So you can actually get stuff done and you don't feel like you're missing out on like the other parts of life or, getting on a boat or doing all the other stuff people are doing during the summer. So I enjoy this time. It's where I can focus, I think, the best.
Yeah, that winter arc. I feel better about eating treats in the winter because I'm wearing more clothes, so you can't see
hibernating
the weight I've gained. Yeah.
He's in hibernation mode.
I'm storing acorns for the winter.
It already is the winter. You're cooked if you're storing acorns now.
I'm just being greedy. I have enough.
So welcome into the episode, guys. The title is not accurate for this. We're going to go update it when we publish the episodes. If you're watching live, don't worry about the actual title you're seeing here. This is from the last episode, but this is tonight we're going to be talking about the alt currency that we just put out, $alt. Yep. And the title of this is going to be Alt is Live, Building the 1% Network. And this is kind of an update on everything we've done so far, just so you guys are caught up with the project, because the biggest thing we're doing here is putting together this massive economic ecosystem of utility, and it all works together in a very strategically important way. If you guys don't understand how, right, you're not going to get everything out that we plan for this community. And when you do understand it, it's truly revolutionary, because everything and every part of your life can be woven into this in some way, and you can feel good about yourself being in part of such an elite network. We're going to actually show you our progress and talk about some of the reasons we made some of these changes. But for me, right, we're not gonna, first of all, this isn't gonna be like one of the numbered episodes. This is gonna be kind of like a special episode update. So we'll go back to like the traditional format next week. But I feel great coming into this podcast. I'm sure you do too, Anthony, just because we got such a big feat out the door of getting the token on the market where people could actually go and buy it and experience, the utility of it in the first early stage sense, right? They can actually put it in their wallet. They can see the impact that they're having on this movement. And that is a massive win, just getting out the door with no problems.
Yeah, I mean, that aside too, people can also stake it now, which helps them because they're going to get a massive return on their investment, depending on how long they're willing to stake it. And then that also helps us to kind of put away those initial purchases of the altcoin to help us out with the price point. And then also it gives us some room to help with development and stuff down the line. So that's another opportunity as well.
Yeah, everything ties in. And again, if you have a Solana wallet and you have an Ethereum wallet, a lot of times, guys, you can make one account in MetaMask or Phantom Wallet or Coinbase Wallet or whatever it is. And again, download the wallet app, not just Coinbase, download the wallet for these apps. And you can actually store both of these types of the NFTs, which is basically your membership pass. Think of it like your concert ticket. And then the cryptocurrency, which is kind of the lifeblood, the fuel of our system. Think about it like XP or points in a game, right? And in this case, the tokens that you hold are worth actual money, and they unlock things in the real world, which are meetup event tickets, right? Membership access to the platform we're building and things like that. So tonight we really want to talk, and I want to go back before we move forward, right? And Anthony, you and I know we got to have that talk about kind of the next couple months and where we see ourselves going. But I want to talk first about where we're at and why we're here. So this is the moment, in my opinion, that the 1% or the future 1% of people our age that are not there yet, that are going to break in, finally get their own operating system. They get a headquarters, a home base, a place that they belong, instead of just trying to continue thinking they have to make it on their own or survive in this market. So, I mean, when was the last time you've seen or saw any founder, right, keep 100% of their company and still get real money thrown at them?
Never. I mean, I'm sure there's cases of it, but the USA that I've seen, never.
Yeah. And in this case, guys, you own the community that helps participate in your company. Like, we give you the resources, and you also participate by having a voting share in the direction of this bigger ecosystem. So again, it all is kind of like partnerships, right? Let's say you want to create a software tool that edits short form content, right? There's a huge gap. WAP does that. They have the content clipping stuff. We actually are working on growing our content clipping. So if you guys want to partake in that, Anthony is running that show. But let's say you guys create a software that does the editing. We want to invest in your company. Let's say we give you $30,000 to get off the ground for 10% of your company on paper, right? But then your software comes into our infrastructure, our Altura community, and a couple thousand people from our community sign up and pay you to use it at a discounted price or just to get you some early stage revenue. And we work together to grow your business. That's insane. And it's not like, we're just giving you the money. We're giving you the knowledge, the people inside of our space who can give you real feedback. That is the goal of Altura and why we're building it this way. It's pretty awesome.
It's absolutely awesome. Huge twist on what traditional entrepreneurial education looks like, or it's just one and done. I'm going to get rich because you bought my course kind of thing. And it's not really sustainable for like the community aspect. I mean, while you're in it, sure, there's other people grinding, and it's cool to get motivation, I guess, from that, or some sort of accountability. But at Altura, it's different in the sense that there can only ever be a set amount of members of the community by means of NFT ownership. And the people that are in it are invested because they paid for lifetime. They paid the price for lifetime access, and it's more of a long-term play to be a member of Altura Society than it is a short-term thing, or I guess a thing that people kind of make classic entrepreneurial education out to be, which is I'm just going to try and get rich quick. I think that's the common drive for joining other people's kind of course material content in that industry or niche. But for us, it's more like we want to teach you what you need to know, right? But we also want to get you connected with people that are actually doing it, and then fund you so that you can scale it past just a side hustle. And, then it's actually something substantial and not just something you are kind of doing on the side when you still have to work a regular day job as well.
Yeah.
That's kind of the difference, the way that I see it, my own words.
The way I've described it is like, let's say you go have to get your taxes done, right? You're going to go into H&R Block. They're going to do the service for you. You're going to pay them their money, and then you leave and you never see them, maybe until next year, right? That's kind of like a transactional level service, right? We've learned about that in our leadership courses at the academy, right? You have that transactional style of interaction between people, very like tit for tat. I do this, you give me that. People pay money. They pay Iman Gadji $1,200 and they get his series of courses. He doesn't really stay involved with him there too much. You don't get to talk to him in the space. You sure get a little bit of community aspect, but it's mainly just you're paying for some videos, you're paying for some PDFs, and then that's it. Like, you better figure it out by yourself. In this case, right, we're not like necessarily a service to service business. We are more of like a country club, right? You pay to be a member, and that means something. You get to go to events that other people don't. The exclusivity of being in a space where you know you're surrounded by other members. And that's just not like everyday people off the street getting their taxes done. That's elite individuals that have made progress in a niche or a space that you can partner with, that you can literally start businesses with. And these people want to be here. They're paying to be here, or they've invested in our currency to compensate them for a free membership. You guys can actually own Altura's token and not ever have to pay, just the same as an NFT. And there's ways to do that too. It's on our website. But there's a bunch of ways to get access and show you're involved. And then it's that sense, right, of like basic training, right? You know you're in the same environment as other people, and they want to be there just as bad as you do. So you guys aren't going to just half-ass something. You're going to get the job done because that's what you're here to do. That's what Altura stands for. So it's just a different level of experience, because you're not just paying money and then the person on the other side is half willing to do it for you. You and I both own the same token, right? You and I are both in the same space. Our NFTs are both measured on the same market for your membership and mine. So we both want to grow the utility of the project together. I care just as much about it succeeding as you do owning the membership as well. So in that sense, it's not just going to be a transactional relationship. It has to be something that grows and provides lifetime value. And I think you just don't get that anywhere else these days.
Yeah, I would agree. Everything is kind of like a rent subscription model. You think like it used to be that we owned DVDs and you had to go choose a movie you already had, a physical copy you have to go watch. And now we have Netflix, where you pay a subscription every month. So you don't actually own the software. You don't own the movies. You don't own the right to watch them. You essentially are renting the privilege to write them or to watch them rather. And if they choose they don't want you to watch them anymore, then they shut your account off and that's it. The difference with what we're doing is that by means of NFT ownership, it's quite literally means ownership of your access to the community for your life, for a lifetime, or, until you maybe down the line you choose to sell it for a little more or less or equal to what you bought it for. That's also a perk of having it in the NFT format as a lifetime access token, because, if you feel like you've extracted all you could out of the resources, which I would find hard to believe, you could, in theory, go sell it for more if you wanted to down the line. But it represents true, like, permanent ownership. It's that you own the right to whatever it is that Altura, whatever it is the members have developed. And then now, as a result of being funded by Altura, the members now have access to that for life as well, on top of all the tools we've built, on top of the academy education we're building out, on top of the networking events, all of it, all the things we harp on every single podcast. The difference being you own the right to all of that. It's not something we can just revoke, because you are the sole owner of that NFT. And so long as Altura is kicking and alive, the NFTs are worth whatever it is Altura has to provide. So that's the main difference. I hate that. I hate that nothing we have is like truly owned by us anymore. Not even people's phones for the most part. Like, most people are on like a monthly plan for their phones. It's like, what do you do if you just miss a payment? Like, I don't know, they can just shut it off. Now you don't have a phone that works. It's crazy stuff. So we're big into privacy. We're big into ownership. We're big into true community, not just the buzzword term for it, where Caleb said it a minute ago. It's not the transactional kind of relationship. It's translational, where it actually the work done by each other, or the work done with each other, translates to something bigger that otherwise wouldn't have been accomplished without the community itself.
Yeah.
So I'll quit yapping, but
speaking of the sole purpose, right? No pun intended. We're going to talk about soul as in the currency. The Solana is the blockchain that we use for our interactions. And I know there's a difference, right? We're doing the actual same path that if you guys have ever heard of Pudgy Penguins, a massive project. You've seen them plush dolls being sold to them in Walmart. You've seen profile pictures on Twitter. It's a massive ecosystem. And it's around this kind of meme style, cartoony penguin community, right? They're the biggest movement to engage celebrities in the NFT space since NFTs, stopped kind of that last cycle about 4 years ago. They're the ones kind of pushing a stride back into this space to remind people that NFTs have real utility. NFTs at the end of the day are a key that turn the door and lets you into a space because the blockchain is like a security measure. I don't look at NFTs like cartoon pictures that have value. I look at an NFT as an access code to get into somewhere. And in our case, your NFT in the wallet is the most secure way of unlocking your access to the platform. And when you're done getting the benefit of the education, the live chats, the networking hub that's basically like LinkedIn on steroids that we're going to develop, all of the other things that we have inside the AI tools, you can take that and resell it on the open market. And most likely, right, if we're growing the project for the first time ever, you're not going to have to just throw money out the door to get an education. You can actually go and treat it like an investment, because if you're doing your job and helping us grow and we're doing the same, it will be. So that is the power of having NFTs. And that's on the Ethereum blockchain, because that's the most legitimate blockchain of cryptocurrency to host NFT transactions. Solana is done for a cryptocurrency because crypto needs to be fast, it needs to be cheap, and it needs to be able to send many transactions at a time, kind of like money, right? It's like gold and dollars. You don't care if there's a small transaction fee of a couple bucks to send gold, right? Because it's a big thing. You're not going to trade small amounts of it. So NFTs, right? We're treating it that way because Ethereum is a stronger blockchain and you don't need to just be passing it around as much. NFT sales aren't going to happen as regularly because there's only less than 9,000 seats at the table, and we want it to mean something. And then the Solana, right, is fast. It's like a penny basically for a transaction. And within seconds, you'll get your currency based on any other blockchain. So we had a fair launch, right? I think that was 2 days ago on Saturday. The liquidity was burned. The mint is revoked. It's locked. There's no way we're dumping tokens on you guys. We put all the screenshots in the Telegram if you want the proof of that. It's on our website to get in the Telegram. We have 30% APY staking, guys. That's insane. So basically, you can buy your tokens right now, and then you can send them into this pool. So let's say you put $1,000 into our token. You take those tokens and you lock them away for 90 days. And you can do that 4 times, right? Or you can lock them away for 4 times that, and basically a year's worth. And if you do that, you will earn 30% interest guaranteed on your money. So you would end up with $1,300. That is twice what the stock market will perform. This is literally the guaranteed way to make easy money. And I can actually say that on the internet because APY is guaranteed. As long as you just put your investment in, you follow the terms, that's how it works. And you guys can go on the website that's also in the Telegram after you're buying your currency and double the rate of the return in the stock market that's going God knows where in these current days. So take advantage of that while we're early. It's not going to last forever. Right now, the current staking expires June 6th, and then we're going to renew the pool from that point forward. Maybe at a different rate, it might adjust, but most likely we'll try to keep it close to that for a while, at least until we get significant traction on top of what we have. The other updates, guys, Nova AI in the calendar and the planner is basically now this executive hub where you can come up and brain dump tasks or ideas, right? Things that are in your mind. And AI will sort it into things you need to talk to AI about, things you need to get done, which it throws on a calendar that's AI automated and regulated for you. Or it puts it into a note style app like your iPhone has, where you can write out these ideas in a secure ecosystem that's not going to sell your data off or be farmed by a massive corporation. You have the dual voting system. So NFTs create votes. Also holding the alt currency allows you to vote on things in our community. One NFT is worth 100 votes. $10 of Altura is worth 1 vote. And that allows you to make key decisions on where the platform goes next. We rebuilt tier access, guys. You now get $20 a month to get in the community month to month if you don't have a lifetime pass, which is the NFT, which gets you in for free forever. or you just have to hold 50,000 alt tokens, which is extremely cheap right now, just to be able to participate and have those rewards. So we're encouraging you guys to kind of informally stake your currency by holding on to it. We hardened the live chat. We're still building it out. We have privacy features shipped. Like eventually it's going to be vault mode, right? Or export and delete features, kind of like Signal has with their encryption. And then we changed the aesthetic of the site slightly, guys. So we've reworded our branding to focus on the privacy features, right? We're not trying to compete with ChatGPT. We're trying to purposely slow things down and not just give your data away and make you a test subject for the newest, updates of code. And God knows what the AI is doing with your data with ChatGPT or other programs behind the scenes. I'll show you the website here too, guys. This is basically what we're looking at. I'm gonna share my screen and allow you guys to, I don't know if I can, trying to show the picture in picture. Let me put us back to the other view here. Can you see my screen? I want to be able to,
yeah.
You can see my there we go. So here's the new website, guys. This is the, you can see 8,888 seats, no expansion. This is kind of the way we've reworded this. Just so you guys understand how secure and focused we are on keeping your data safe from farming, right? And surveillance infrastructure. You guys own the community, like in terms of the decisions that we make. Now, obviously, it's like a country club. You don't get to own the actual country club, but you get to own your membership and all the rights to it. And you can resell that to somebody else. Same as the NFT, right? So you also get access to the network and the tools here, and those are secure. You can see what we're trying to do and what we're trying to compete with for ChatGPT in our own style of AI. That's an executive assistant. We're coming up with a notes app that's going to replace a form of Notion. Eventually we're going to launch CRM software to kind of host your businesses and companies. We already are building the calendar app. You guys can see the infrastructure for that. And then all the discounts and tools we're going to partner with other companies to put out as you guys help us make those decisions. And that's the goal, is you save hundreds of dollars by buying one subscription into an elite program. You can see the individual things we're planning on building and kind of the roadmap here. But more importantly, take yourself inside, guys. It's free to explore the platform. We've just redesigned this. And Anthony, I don't even know if you have seen this yet because it just went live today. I just published these roundup updates. But basically the dashboard slightly redefined. So you guys can see, you can connect your Ethereum wallet and your Solana wallet. You'll have a big notification hub here. And then we have a bunch of to-dos down here. First of all, I added the actual DEX screener thing so you guys can buy your tokens right in the dashboard, right down here. Boom, connect your wallet, and you can purchase right then and there the token. This graph is really messed up just because I'm looking, I have it displayed weird, but you guys can see we've had a strong launch and we're working in the upward momentum right now. And then finally, we just have some to-dos for you guys, which will actually give you some tokens in our points challenge to participate, like linking your wallet, and then bigger things, right? Like helping us grow, marketing our community. So you can see this list of things that we're going to hand you free tokens month to month to do. We have a fund set aside to pay out up to 10 million tokens a month to all of our users. Over the course of a year, we're going to try to pay out about 100 million tokens. And anything you guys do here, and you can spam these too, will get you tokens. If you're a founder, right? So if you have an NFT or you're a lifetime member, you're going to get double that stuff. So a lot of things we figured out here, and we'll go through those a little bit more in a second. I'm also going to share what we're still figuring out. But Anthony, what do you think about what we have so far in terms of the site?
Yeah, I have seen that. I was on earlier today, but it's like this is like a milestone for us. I talked about this on the stream when we actually launched the token a few days ago. But everything at this point is now tangible for you guys. The utility behind Nova. Fully functional. Of course, it's still in beta phase of development, so there's it's obviously could be better, but it's doing great things for people that are already in the community. I use it, every day for my operations as marketing guy for Altura. I've recommended it to friends of mine that are entrepreneurs as well that are also in the community. So there's actual utility behind the platform as it stands right now, which is why we spend time making the end user experience look professional, be fully functional. And on top of that, now we also have the NFT. The NFTs have been there for a while now, but the NFTs are fully tangible as well. You can literally go in, purchase it, hold it in a wallet, hold it in hard storage, whatever it is you have, and you have complete ownership of that. We already talked about what that means, but now we also have all tokens, which are another tangible, another deliverable, another thing that you guys can actually go and use, interact with, and using the platform for staking. In the future, you can use it to represent different. There's possibilities at this point are endless, but we talked about things like month-to-month memberships based on how many coins you have staked, access to certain things in the academy, access to certain things, like Kayla mentioned, real-world events. So just kind of bits and pieces of what full membership NFT holdership gets you. But as far as like the site being updated, it's just representative of the fact that this is our MVP. We're honestly past the point of an MVP. This is what people are already using right now to further their efforts as an aspiring entrepreneur, and all of the tangibles that we can give you are out there right now. It's just at a point where growth comes over time, and so we're developing things over time, but that doesn't change the fact that it's there and ready for you guys to interact. And we take feedback on all those things daily too. So there should be a spot on the website as well if you ever have feedback about how it looks or end user functionality, bugs, things you find. And people are dropping stuff like that all the day or all the time, every day inside the community, and it's good to see it finally be at a point where like I said, all the tangibles are there for people to use. So get on there. It's like Caleb said too, it's free. It's not like it costs you anything to at least just look at it, to try out Nova, see if it's something that could be helpful for you and your platform. I talk about it to people that I meet all the time. I talk about it just in conversation, with people that I think truly would benefit from it. And that's most people, whether you're currently an entrepreneur or not. Nova is literally programmed to figure out strategically based on what your actual goals are, like the areas of focus that you should be honing in on, and then specific tasks you can do to actually accomplish those things. And so for that reason, it's useful for more than just, people that are already entrepreneurs. If you are just trying to figure out your life, for example, it works for that as well. There's multiple modes on there that you can use. My favorite is the brain dumping one. I think it's a pretty cool feature because I'm not very organized by nature. A lot of my thoughts, like I rarely take notes. A lot of my thoughts are abstract. And so that's been nice for me to have something that it functions with my natural personality, while still giving me the same level of efficacy that it would for somebody else that's more organized than me. But yeah, just an example there for you about how, the site's out there for you guys to check out. It's real tangible, it's real deliverable, it's functioning, and it's just ready for use. That's really that's my biggest push, as the marketing guy for what we're doing in the behind the scenes, right? Is just trying to get more eyes on the project and more people giving feedback. So that's why we do this in large part, is because we're trying to put our faces, put faces to names, put the name altar out there in front of more people. And so if you're watching this, we appreciate you. And that's what it means for us at this point.
Yeah, you guys can see, this is kind of like a preview mode too, but like a lot of the stuff is built out in terms of the structure, but there's still a lot of bugs because a lot of the stuff is brand new. We're still getting the functional part of it set up. So everything that we've priced, especially like the month-to-month stuff that you're paying the $20 for, like the AI tools, the planners, the calendars, the notes, like that stuff for the most part should be working for you. We are working through some bugs right now and stuff, but that's why it's so cheap. It's probably going to go up to like $40 to $50 a month at some point. But you guys are paying to be early in this. And if you pay $20 a month, it's also locked in for a lifetime at that price. We're not going to like rebill you a higher amount later. So you guys get access to a lot by being early. And if you buy an NFT, right, you get access to this stuff and actually get to help give us feedback inside the live chat and the things we're building out to help us form this better. It is truly your platform. We're going to put out a lot of decisions in the voting hub, right? And if, again, we price in a way so if you hold 50,000 tokens, you get votes, right? Like, or if you hold $10 worth of Altura, that's your significant one vote per amount, right? So 50,000 tokens unlocks the membership to see all this stuff, and then every $10 allows you to vote in these decisions. So what we figured out and what we haven't figured out, and I'll stop sharing my screen. You guys can check it out. The site's link is down, in the bottom corner of this live stream down here. But we figured out staking, right? So you guys can stake and double the rate of return of the stock market. That's not just like a fake promise. You can go on stream, what's the link? Streamflow. Yeah, Streamflow Finance. And we have a hub set up for you guys to put your tokens in and you will get paid out. That is guaranteed. The NFTs, right? We figured that out. It's lifetime ownership. It's a resellable asset on OpenSea, and you can already see some listed for sale. And it gives you 100 votes for each token. And then 30% of all the tokens have been allocated to the community fund. So it's going to be owned and operated by votes and decisions in the community itself. So it's going to fund, right, in our funding hub that you will see in the upcoming things as listed below on that sidebar. We're going to open a startup funding incubator, and that'll be what we give to you guys as a currency. That's why we have Alt. It's going to be a utility to send to you guys to make your business a reality. We can drop it into your wallet because we'll have it on file, and you guys can take that and actually run and create a business that changes the world. 19-year-olds in basements no longer have to be just looked down upon by venture capital firms because you're a joke. They're not going to laugh you off the stage because you never had to be on the stage. You get to be in a place of people that know your story, actually side with you, and are tired of these massive institutions deciding what Stanford grads get the money and who doesn't. Winners get to give members free or heavily discounted lifetime access to their product, right? If you have a good business, bring it back to Altura and we'll be your users. We'll work out a deal with you. And then the first, airdrops and things like that, we're going to start rewarding tokens to you guys on January 1st, 2026. So if you guys go in the tokens challenge and you start inviting members and getting tokens with your invite link, if you start using Nova, you're going to get rewarded tokens for participating. So when people hear Anthony Community Fund, they think like charity, they think like, donations and things like that. How do we make them feel that this is like kind of the hardest nose investment that they'll ever make? Like that this money is actually in the funds in there are actually going to go to things that they care about. What do people need to know about this community fund and what we're trying to do here that is different from being part of like the real world or other communities like that?
Yeah, so I'll just make the distinction first and foremost that you say it's a charity. I'm not sure which direction you'd say the charitable cause would be going towards, but just as a baseline of explanation, the community fund, by which, if I'm not mistaken, 30% of all tokens ever to be minted are at all times going to be roughly 30% allocated towards, is actually, it goes towards a few things. If I'm not mistaken.
By the way, you said going to be minted. By the way, we locked minting, so no more tokens can ever be minted. This is a fixed supply like Bitcoin, so price is only going to massively increase from here. And the 300 million tokens out of that, the 30% of the billion, have already been allocated. So there's no more tokens that'll be allocated. Ideally, we're using them to give to you guys. So ideally, we spend money from that. And then obviously, we can come in and top it off and add funds as you guys buy and sell NFTs and we make some royalties off that, or we create subscription revenue, things like that will all go back to you guys and a lot of benefits and utility.
Yeah, I misspoke when I said minted. Must have been thinking NFTs, and even those are, anyways, this is a separate thing, but it goes back to you essentially is all I was trying to say. It goes back into funding small businesses. It goes back into, as Caleb said, operations with airdrops, things that make the end user's experience better. And I guess to answer your second part of that question that I kind of pulled from that, which is how do you get people to know about it? Well, I mean, once again, I'll just refer you to the website. Under the homepage in the About section, it clearly outlines, what percentage of the minted alt tokens are going to what cause, like what section of all operations within Altura. And so you can see exactly that's our credibility, right? That's screenshotted, and that's in our Telegram as well. You can see exactly what the tokens are going towards. But even within that, you can also see what operations are going to be funded using that allocation of the total alt fund. And so we kind of just put the information out there, and there's not a ton we can do besides explain this to you and then post as transparently as possible our full intention and it's not even intention, like what's actually happening right now with the supply. So my best answer would just be I'd have to refer you back to the website to read up on the About page, because I mean that's kind of the answer to a lot of questions that we go through on this podcast, or that people that I talk to about it have, is because we've thought about this a lot, right? And we know that people have questions, so that's exactly why we put together the About page, and that's why it's so in depth and has so much information, because pretty much anything you could ask about, like why we're doing what we're doing, who's involved, what it is we're doing, and when. I think those are actually verbatim. The 4 tabs that are in there is outlined there for you guys to see. So, and then of course in the Telegram as well, we have a credibility section. I don't know if what it's called, Telegram channel section, chat. Regardless, it's there as well with screenshots that we post all the time about what things we're doing to build trust in the community, right? To show you guys that we actually, we're not just talking all this talk, and that we actually are doing the things we're telling you with the funds, and doing all we can to help grow the project as well, so that we all benefit, not just us.
Yeah, great breakdown. You guys can see down here too. It's in the task, so you can just click on this link to the Telegram. There is a Discord too, but I'd recommend just getting in the Telegram mainly for the benefits there. So we're starting to get members in as we grow the space, and then obviously you get a little bit of rewards from things like this. So I told you guys what we've done. Now we need to tell you guys where we're legitimately at and what we need to figure out. So what I'd like to put out in my suggestion is that we launch 4 polls. So if you guys have 50,000 alt tokens, or you're paying $20 a month, or you have an NFT, either of those options, right? That's what qualifies you guys to be a member, right? So either right here, 50,000, you can buy it there, pay the $20, or if you're a founder, you get lifetime access. So that's how you get access to all the features, which will unlock the voting hub. And then for every $10 of alt you own, or for every NFT you own, you'll get 100 votes for that. You guys can access the voting hub. I still have like a trial account. I'm in the like developer build phase of this, so I don't have these features unlocked for myself. But basically, you guys are going to get in. It's going to show how many votes you can allocate to things. And I'm recommending we put 4 tasks out. I want to know these things. First, what is the next priority feature we should develop? We have a roadmap here that says we're going to put together like a financial planner, maybe like a Rocket Money sort of thing, right? Where you can manage your bills and stuff. And then maybe Nova can help you with suggestions on that, things like that. That's an option. These are technically ordered already, but I'm open to rearranging those if you guys want different features. Toolkits are going to be, we reach out to different brands and collaborate with them and get discounts on services and softwares that we can offer back to you guys, as well as just creating different little AI mini tools that you guys can use. Maybe it's like a copywriting, bot or something like that. Maybe it's I don't know, help me out here. Like trying to think of a good idea. I don't know, just little things like a business idea generator or something like that. Little mini kits that you guys can use. Also, what this might be are PDF startup guides of what you can do to start your business off the ground. A lot of that's going to happen in the academy too. So academy we're going to work on very soon here is getting educators, people that honestly don't have a lot of experience, some that do, and people that really know about a small niche area of business or finance. And we're going to invite them in to make like a 3-video series. It's going to be very gritty, kind of like this live stream, about an hour long, kind of like this live stream. And over 3 sections, we're going to teach you what they do, how to, like what their business is, and what the methods and models of it are, like stock trading, right? And then probably the last video will be 15 to 20 minutes. How do you start stock trading with no experience? What are the things you should start doing? And what should you measure? And then that's it. We purposely cut it off. We'll eventually have a grad school version, right, if those courses really do well. But your whole objective is to go into the live chat, and we'll start opening up channels with the creators. And you can go in and get the education by talking to people, by networking, and then eventually by using Nova AI to help you figure these things out, because it'll be plugged in with the knowledge. That is the academy. The networking hub is going to be a more exclusive, think like meetups in the real world, where we really fine tune where we're going. Are we doing a Dallas meetup, an LA meetup, a Denver meetup, a Miami meetup? Who's coming? What dates are we doing it? Do you guys want to get an Airbnb? What do you want to do to set that up? Who's going to be on the RSVP list? Are we selling tickets to this? Is this going to be a conference? All those details. And then you guys can also use that. There'll be options in there to meet exclusive members that are paying the high fees to be in this elite club. And you can network with them and start a business maybe. And then funding, right, is where you go apply to get your business resources, right? Airdrop through Altura. So sorry for that breakdown. It's pretty long, but that's the first poll I'm going to put out. What are the next priorities we should launch? Should we go with the academy next and start working on that? Or do you guys want to see some of the networking stuff? Do you guys want to meet up in the real world and start focusing on that first? Whatever it is. The next poll I might put out is permanent data policy, right? What are we going to do with your data or not do? What are the limits of how we can use it and how much you guys want us to use data to help train Nova AI and things like that? And how much history do you want it to remember about you? Do you want it to refresh every time? Do you want to have options? Do you want it to get to know you really well so it can kind of think like you and help you make decisions like a business partner? Do you want it to not keep any data? Things like that I'm going to put out for votes. Next is additional alt utility. So what else with the tokens can we use to power the ecosystem? Maybe you use them for like tokens that give you like credits or access to software on a trade in your tokens for use kind of thing, right? That could be an option. Maybe you pay tokens to pay subscriptions, right? And we pay for your cover certain subscriptions in your financial hub, things like that. And then finally is going to be vault mode retention. So kind of how do you want us to take what we have and what we have in the inner circle community and release that to the public? Should we keep things private? Should we be very exclusive? Or do you guys want more interaction between paid members and free members? Things like that. Those are all the decisions I'm kind of thinking through in my head right now. And your vote is going to count. It's literally going to shape the roadmap. So, voting is live. If this was all live right now, Anthony, which one do you think is going to kind of change the most for members, or which one would you want to kind of prioritize?
I'm all for the academy being developed first. Maybe that's just bias because if we go back to, I know we have a few people that kind of follow what we do still from when we originally were working together. That was always the vision, right? Was to help people that are originally it was just like men in general, but it's changed over the times to be people that are like we were not too long ago too. We knew we wanted to be entrepreneurs. I mean, this is more for you a lot longer ago than me, but we've been in the position, is all I'm trying to say, where we know entrepreneurship is a thing we want to chase. It's a scary task. It's a little bit daunting, but we kind of understood that, it's either this and we do all we can to succeed, or, it's the alternative is working a job that we don't want to work the rest of our life. Right. So we make the switch, and it's, like I said, it's scary. You don't exactly know what it is you're trying to accomplish. And so it's the natural progression would be like, let me go learn from someone who's done it before. And I think that for me, we talk a lot about personalities in our own separate private meetings, right? The team knows that, but I'm more of like a hands-on guy. I want to see it happen. I want to see things work in front of my eyes so I can then understand how they work and then recreate that myself. So I guess maybe that's a little biased answer, but my answer nonetheless, that I think that the academy, it would change. It would be a big enough change that I could confidently say we'd be getting, our first few people on the way to funding through the community pool as well.
Yeah. My idea is like, and I've been thinking about this, and again, this is kind of just open discussion, but I like how WAP is kind of like a Discord style, like community hub for entrepreneurs and people trying to make money. And then YouTube, right, is a space where people that are really into like video creation can put out content. But I like the idea of opening the academy to like everybody, right? And everybody can submit courses and vote on each other's videos, right? Maybe everybody can create a little starter pack, and then you can try to get your course ranked in like the top, courses, and then people can vote on it. So it's like, why not just invite everybody in, and then the best people can get invited to film like exclusive limited edition, kind of like Netflix original series where they get to do the deep end stuff. That could be a great option too, where people that want to have their voice heard but are tired of like not being listened to can finally actually just post in a space where they can get real-time attention from people who are looking for this information. That could be a good way to do it as well.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Because that way we can compete then. YouTube is it's too hard to make it on YouTube, and everyone wants to do YouTube to make money, right? In this case, we could reward you with tokens or things like that, or comp your membership just to be part of this system. And then also you can get followers from people who are actually working on businesses and want to hear what you have to say. If you're a personal fitness guy, talk about fitness in here, because there's a lot of people that are trying to better themselves that care about fitness and will probably follow you and your accounts, and we could link those in there and things like that. You can just have a one button, subscribe or something like that. It can be a really easy way to build a big community and not compete directly with like WAP or YouTube, but kind of be in our own space. And I really like that kind of niche style thing, right? If you're in a country club, right, you don't have to be the best speaker in the world, but if you're giving a speech to the members, you can know for sure that they're going to listen to you and they're going to have resources to put your way. And a lot of times you don't need the whole world to listen to you. That's why the Altura exists. Privacy, doing things on small scale is still extremely impactful if the people you're talking to listen to you and they trust you. You don't need to speak to 1 million people and have none of them care, like Logan Paul, right? You need to speak to 500 people and they need to be willing to quit their job and work for you. That's what we're trying to build, this type of brotherhood and ecosystem inside of Altura. I don't just mean brotherhood literally, but I mean everybody, can compete and build something in the external world, but then come together in our space and share what they've done. So that's what I want to see. That's what I want to push. And that's what I think the Altura token and the community around it's going to really be great at supporting. And yeah, we'll just hear from you guys what you want to do. So in the next 30 days, here's what I'm thinking. First, we need to bulletproof our foundation. So the chats, the live chats, we're just getting the details finalized, and then you guys can start using that. I also want to get it on mobile device. I want to make a push to develop an app, and you guys can have this executive assistant calendar like Google Calendar on your phone. AI is going to automatically sort it for you, tell you what's next, tell you what things you should talk to AI about, tell you what things you need to focus on for notes, right? What you need to plan out and do. That is insanely valuable. That is a multi-million-dollar business. And with a $60,000 coin market cap, you guys better be damn well sure that if you put your money in right now, it's going to pay off as we launch those types of futures. Next, we're going to start collecting information. And I want to ship the #1 voted feature within 30 days. So Anthony, maybe that is the Academy. We start making progress on opening that up to people to submit content, right? I don't necessarily think we have to just pick a handful of influencers. I think it'd be great if we partner with some big names like you were saying, but maybe just open it up like YouTube where everybody can post a video or like a starter course, right? And we have some requirements for that and give everybody some sort of benefit if they do. And then the community can kind of build itself. Next, I want to fully automate the airdrops because right now it's manual. I want to automate rewards and I want to automate staking tiers. So you get different levels of interest depending on how much money you stake. Right now, it's just 30% all across the board, but I want to change that and reward people that are willing to stake more because that's going to help build our community and save the benefit. But right now, it's 30% for anybody that wants to make 30% APY. You're never, ever going to ever find an opportunity to make this much money, this guaranteed. I can almost assure you that. There's very few spots that you're going to get paid this much just because we're trying to grow. And so we're willing to offer higher amounts of reward. I'm personally contributing some of my share to make this happen so we can grow the token value. And then finally, by the end of January, this is what I see. Mobile app live. You have an app on the App Store and Google Play Store you can use to do all this stuff and talk to your brothers and sisters. You have a live chat, kind of like a Discord parody. We have Discord right now too. We're using it, but I want to get everything onto our platform. And then finally, I want to get the first treasury grants out the door by the end of January. That's a bold goal, but I want to get a business funded so we have a case study and show you guys exactly how that's going to work. More importantly, show Anthony and I how that's going to work too by giving a company money and seeing what they can do with it. And then Anthony, if we nail everything that I just said in the next 30 days, I mean, paint the picture of like the average member's life in February of 26. What do you think that's going to be?
Yeah, absolutely. If all those KPIs get hit, if all those goals get met, it's going to be essentially like we talked about it being fully tangible and functional right now. But that means that at that point, like the vision of the things that we're saying we're building or that we're going to have implemented are actually going to be done. And so day in the life is like, maybe you're somebody who works a day job still, but in your free time, you're trying to develop some sort of side business, personal brand, something like that. That's a popular thing to do because it works, right? You log on to Altura's site in the morning, see what everybody's talking about in the chat. You got something coming up, a real world event, let's say, like in a couple weeks, people are excited about meeting up for the first time. Maybe you said February, right? So maybe for the first time at that point, go on about your day, get into when you have your free time aside from your day job, you're in there going through course content. You found a person or two that's in the same niche and industry as you that's doing something similar. You're watching how they, as somebody who's only 2 or 3 steps ahead of you currently, got to the point that they're at to where they're making a steady and substantial income. Follow those steps, get mentoring from those same people inside the live chats. Go day by day and take it one step at a time until you've built yourself something that's substantial. And then from that point, maybe not in February, but maybe in 2026, that's your year to get funded by Altura too. Maybe you could be one of those first few companies, depending on the level of development you're at right now. But it's going to be something that truly revolutionizes. Like everybody says that about their startup. Everybody says, "Oh, it's revolutionary," but nobody's doing it like this. Nobody's giving you the opportunity.
Nobody's doing it like us. I like that.
No one's doing it like it. Truly though, like that's as niche as that sounds. Or cliche, I should say, not
You know what's
niche.
crazy though is like, this is the story you hear every single time. It's like, how did you come up with this idea? It's like, well, anybody could just do it. Like, you just have to do it. Like, a lot of people just think about stuff like this. We're actually doing it. There's not, that's the only difference is we're just taking action on the things that we said we want to do. And literally, I'm sure a lot of people have this idea, but we're just making it real. That's the only thing that's separating us from you. And it's not anymore. I'm not even saying it is. You guys are actually invited to help us grow this. You don't have to build something and compete against us. You can own the same token we own. You can own the same NFTs we own, and we're winning together. So it's not like open where, I make millions of dollars, Anthony makes millions of dollars, and you guys just sit there and like kind of pay us like every other course creator. You own the ecosystem. Like, buy the token, get the utility out of it, build your business, and at the same time, the same membership you're buying with the NFT will continue to push it, hopefully increase it in value. And therefore, you never had to pay $1 to learn the skills that will quite literally retire you if you do the work.
Could have said it better.
This isn't a token. This is a key card to a network that is where the 1% actually build in private, that aren't trying to show off, that aren't trying to flex Lamborghinis, because so much of the time they're faking it, and you don't want to live the life they live. We're doing things real. It's slower, it's more boring, but it's more guaranteed, and it's where the actual 1% live, the 1% of our generation. Everything is live. We're working on building it out. Be patient with the bugs. Get on a live call with us, guys. We have the opportunity for you to meet with us on a call just like this. You can maybe even come on our live stream if you have something interesting to talk about. And we will interview you and see if you have anything to offer the community and if you want to be a part in this, because we'd love for you guys to help us grow and be part of our team. Or just, buy an NFT membership for $80 before it goes up 5 times that rate. And you guys know you're going to basically get in at 1/5 of the price you could resell it in the future. That is awesome. And if you have questions about that, just ask us, because again, it's in the dashboard and you can sign up for free. Everything's live at alturasociety.com. The link's literally right here. If you look at the live stream, it's down below. Get your NFT, stake your alt, earn 30%, and your parents are going to be like, how are you even doing that? You're going to say, it's guaranteed. I don't have to check the stock market. I just know I'm going to earn 30%. And start voting, right? Own enough to actually play a role in what the community is going to do. And then on top of the 30%, you're going to watch the actual value of the token massively increase too. And maybe you'll earn 400%, right, in the span of months, because we're so early. The early window, though, is closing fast. And once it's gone, it's gone. So what I will say is the 1% aren't waiting. They're already thinking about joining and making the leap. And if you guys are hesitant, that's exactly where you need to be. That's exactly where I was. And then I just started building. I started building Altura, and here we are. One more sentence, Anthony, for the kid listening in their car right now.
You really got nothing to lose, man. It's absolutely free to check out at the very least. And if you don't like what we built, so be it, right? You go back to however you're living right now. But
I like that, because there's no hard sell. Like there shouldn't.
I mean, it's not like obviously the community gets better with every person that joins, because largely because of that community pool, the community fund, right? But then also, like, if you get to a point where maybe the idea you had actually is a pretty good idea, and whether or not people have come up with that in the past, you do it different, you succeed, get funded by us, and now you're helping other people to have access to whatever it is you built, just by means of being a success story as a member of Altura. And so in that sense, you can kind of give back, just as we're trying to do, and get other people who are more advanced than us to come do, to just continue this cycle of helping people who have realized that the money that they're saving by their day job putting away is becoming worthless over time, and is not going to be, we don't really live in a world, this is just my opinion, all right, But we don't really live in a world where you can just invest in your retirement account, and by the time you're old, you'll have plenty of money, and have it be worth something. Um, Inflation is worse than is reported, and it's only going to get worse from here, in my opinion. So a lot of people are understanding that and they're kind of seeing that, but that generally means that your only other alternative is building something substantial for yourself, that you have complete say over how much work goes into. You have say over who's part of the team, part of the board, if you get that high up. And I'll just tell you this, man. A lot of people do it. It's not impossible. Like I think that it's kind of pushed on people that entrepreneurship is a lot harder than, or I guess that it's impossible, I should say, to actually reach a certain level, a certain degree of success that so few people make. But I mean, at the end of the day, like, are you just going to turn over and just continue working, or are you going to like take a chance on yourself? We talked about this on previous podcasts too, but the concept of just like giving up before you start or dying on the road, like at least you're on the way somewhere. And I'm not saying Altura is the only it's the only path to where you're trying to go, but I am saying it is an avenue, and we're putting it in front of you for free, and you don't lose anything from trying it out. So, parting words is, whether you are interested in 30% APR from our token, or if you're interested in lifetime access membership through our NFT, or if you just want to check it out and see if Nova is helpful at all for your business model. All three are available to you, and we're at a stage of development right now where we're both I for sure am pretty available to take calls with you guys and answer questions and go through whatever it is you want to go through. Talk about my experience, talk about where the company's headed, talk about your experience. I would love to do that. Honestly, I would love to connect with any of you guys watching this video, or if you're watching it live, for that matter. So just get involved. It doesn't cost you anything except for your time. And if you're working a job, you're kind of already wasting your time, in my opinion, as I see it.
I was thinking about that last night. I did this like deep clean in my apartment. I was taking out the trash at the very end, and like thankfully my space is so organized right now. My entire apartment's like hyper clean. And every time I wanted to like, take a break or whatever, this is the theme of my life this season and for this month or two, is just do it now, do it now, do it now. I just keep saying that to myself every single time I don't want to do something. I got done with the gym. I knew I should probably take a cold shower. I need to reset. I don't need to sit in hot water and like get tired and deactivated. I need to like reset myself before this podcast. I don't want to hop in. I'm just like, do it now, do it now, do it now. I'm getting in. I'm getting things done. Because to me, what I realized last night is like, I was like, I could have just sat on the couch, but I have the option to sit on the couch. Like I realized that I'm wanting so much in life, but I get the luxury of getting to choose to sit on the couch. So me choosing not to do that versus somebody else who doesn't have a choice means I am blessed. I have so much already to be thankful for, that it's kind of my responsibility to use that gift that I've been given, that both of us have. We're in a position where we don't have to really worry about paying our rent because of what we've earned for ourselves. And we can take that and do something with it. It's not just like you indulge in the luxury of what you've earned. You give back. And to me, this is the best way I can give back, is creating a space with you that we help people get from where we were, a year or so ago, into a better spot where they feel like they have motion, they have momentum, they have movement going behind something that they are extremely passionate about. And they create something that's even better than what we have here. And I love to say that I got to be a part in your story. Just like, I got to be a part in Anthony's story and vice versa. I think that's pretty damn awesome. There's no other greater purpose for me in life than getting to partner with you guys, see your successes, and hopefully help inspire you guys to be one someday. I'd love to see you inside. Hopefully you guys see what we're doing and that we care. And don't think that we don't value what we're building, and see the responsibility of it as leaders to do the right thing and to create a space that you guys truly want to be part of, because this is just as much meaningful for us as it is for you. And I wouldn't want to create something that was not worth my time. It's truly my child, and I want to take care of it. And I hope the effort means something. I hope to see you on the inside. I will say, as I always do, I'm rooting for you and to ascend, the previous title of what we went by, and because that's what we're creating. I have no other comments than that. Anthony, let's say goodnight. It's been a long enough time, and we'll sign off until Wednesday, I guess.
Yep, Wednesday should be when you'll be on.
Get in the Telegram, guys. It's the best spot for the crypto because it's working, and right, we don't have to host that chat. We're building out our live chat and the other features we talked about still, and we'll publish those updates in the channel as we push them out. But obviously, buy the token. That's the best way you can help us by creating utility behind it and getting momentum. It's basically free marketing for our project, and we hope other people see that too. Have a good night. Take care, and we'll see you next time.